All right. Welcome, everybody, to the free workshop, the number one way to start working from home. In this workshop, I'm going to be teaching you how to start a profitable and stable virtual assistant business from the comfort of your home with your kiddos by your side, doing things that light you up and that you actually get to be paid money for. So you are in the right place, and this workshop is for you if it's on your heart to leave your 9 to 5 or just to start a side hustle to make more income. Either one of those, this workshop is for you. This is also for you if you want to make money from home, if you want the flexibility that working from home allows. And it's also for you if you need a flexible schedule, something that works around your life, your all the things for your kiddos, their extracurriculars, whatever. If you need something that actually allows you to have a job that works around your life instead of your life working around your job, then this is for you. So during this workshop, I'm going to teach you the 5 Ps that you need to know in order to become a successful virtual assistant and start working from home with your babies. So welcome. My name is Ariana. I quit teaching when I had my daughter, and I replaced my full-time teaching income as a virtual assistant in just 6 months. And I'm about to teach you how you can do the same. Before we kind of jump into the meat and potatoes of this workshop, I do want to mention a couple of things. If you're watching this live, you can absolutely leave any comments you have, even if you're watching the replay. Comment your questions and I will get to them after this training is over. I'm not going to be answering questions while I'm live just because I want to be really respectful of everybody's time, like I mentioned, and it can get to be a lot. So as soon as this workshop is over, I will come back in and answer any questions that you guys have asked. And if you participate in this workshop, you get entries into our giveaway, which I'll be talking about more later. So make sure you're doing that. Even if you're watching the replay, as long as I haven't done the drawing for the giveaway yet, which I will be doing tomorrow, then you can still get entries for the giveaway when you're watching the replay. So a few fun facts about me. On the virtual assistant side of my business, I am a website and branding designer. That is just the service that I chose to niche into. I've offered a ton of different services as a VA, and I'll go more into what those services the service options are in a minute. But website and branding design is what really lights me up. And that's the beautiful thing for you. You get to pick a service that really lights you up. So I'm a Michigander at heart. I live in Ohio with my daughter, my son, my husband, 3 cats, and a German Shepherd. Life's a little bit crazy, but we like it that way. So I was actually a teacher for 3 years. I taught first grade my first year of teaching and then kindergarten for 2 years. And I grew up thinking I was going to be a teacher. And then once I actually got in the classroom, as much as I loved my students, even the difficult ones, I just started to realize that this job was not going to allow me to live the life I wanted to live. And most importantly, it wasn't going to allow me to be the present mom I had always dreamed of being. Because, like I said, I grew up thinking I was going to be a teacher, but more than that, if somebody asked me when I was little what I wanted to be when I grew up, my answer was, I want to be a mom. And I very quickly learned that teaching was not going to allow me to be the present mom I wanted to have the energy to pour into my kids. I didn't want to give them my leftovers. I didn't want to get home from an exhausting day dealing with like 25 to 30 other kiddos and not be patient with my own kids. And so I started thinking about what could I do instead of teaching, because this is all I thought I was able to do, all I had planned to do. So I'm like, how do I pivot? Now that I've already got this degree, I don't want to go back to college. And it was really stressful. And my husband and I actually decided, let's backtrack, my 3rd year teaching, I got pregnant with our daughter. And my husband and I decided that I was going to take her first year of her life off of teaching. And that way I could be home to be present with her, to just not have to pay all the expensive daycare fees that you do with an infant. And so I could just see all of her first and be that present mom. But the plan was that at the end of that first year of my daughter's life, I was going to go back to teaching. And in the meantime, during that year, the plan was for me to either like nanny or do grocery delivery, something to make a little bit of income. Probably wasn't even going to come close to my teaching income, but something that I could take her with me to, and still help provide just a little bit for a family. Well, none of those things ended up happening, because the day that I went into labor, I found out about the world of virtual assistants, and I'm like, what is this? Is this direct sales, MLM? Because I tried that for like 3 years when I was in college, never really made that much money with it. So I was like, I don't really want to go that route. So I very quickly learned that this is not a direct sales company. It's not like, people work under me and they make me money. That's not how this works at all. It is your own business, and it is something that you get to have full control of. So once I learned that, I was like, sign me up, I'm in, I'm ready to go. Within a month of actually starting my virtual assistant business, I had landed my first client. This is, again, with my newborn daughter by my side, because I literally found out about this the day that I went into labor. And every time she was nursing, every time she was napping, I was learning everything I could about this virtual assistant world and just dove headfirst into it. I had no experience whatsoever, but I'm like, you know what? I have this amazing ability to figure things out, as all teachers and just moms do. And so I just dove on in. So within the first month, I had landed my first client. Within 2 months, I was making $1,500 in monthly income. And within 6 months, I had completely replaced my teaching income. Now, today, I consistently replace and even exceed my teaching income, and that's working a max of 20 hours a week, probably more like 15, but maximum 20 hours a week. Now, becoming a virtual assistant was so much more simple than I expected. And the great part is that you can do this too. You absolutely can figure things out. And I'm going to help show you how you can get started in this world. So let's go ahead and walk through the 5 P's that you need to know and to have in place in order to become a profitable virtual assistant. So the first P of becoming a virtual assistant is your positioning. So before we do anything else, we have to determine what type of virtual assistant we want to position ourselves as. So there are seriously over 100 different services virtual assistants can offer. I've kind of broken them down into like overarching categories, but just because something's in this category, if you decide to be an admin virtual assistant, for example, you don't have to do everything in that category. You can pick what sounds good to you. If there's something you absolutely do not want to do in that category, you do not have to offer it. So I just wanted to make that disclaimer before we dive in. So an administrative virtual assistant is someone who, it's kind of like when you think of your typical secretary and the services that they might offer for their employee or their employer. That is what an administrative virtual assistant would do. So things like calendar organization, billing and invoicing, research, creating forms and spreadsheets, purchasing office supplies, scheduling appointments, bookkeeping, data entry, booking travel, purchasing gifts. That all falls into the umbrella of an admin VA. This is a great one for a lot of people to start out with because a lot of us have these basic skills and we can figure it out really easily. So a lot of people will start with offering these services when they jump into the virtual assistant world. The next category is social media management. So again, this is another really great category to start out with because most of us are familiar with social media. No, we might not have run it for a business before, but we're familiar with how these platforms work. And so we can easily figure out, okay, like how do I do this for an actual business instead of just for myself? So as a social media manager, you can do things like managing Facebook groups, Facebook business pages, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, whatever social media platform you want. You can help to create the graphics and or find graphics to use. You can write the posts, schedule the content in advance, respond to comments and messages, do hashtag research. That all falls under the umbrella of social media management. Now, the next category is copywriting. This is not like copyright infringement. Not the same. No, a copywriter is someone who writes any written content in a business. So if you get an email from a business, that was probably done by a copywriter. If you see written content on a business's website, probably done by a copywriter. Even books can be written by a copywriter. As a copywriter, you can ghostwrite a client's book. They would just give you the outline, some of the meat and potatoes of what they want in the book, and then you would take it and run with it and make their finished book for them. So that's really cool. If you love to write, this is a really good um umbrella for you to like dive into. So as a copywriter, you can do things like proofreading, editing, writing blog posts, social media captions, email content, website content, ghostwriting books, like I mentioned. That would all fall under the umbrella of copywriting. Graphic design, as a graphic designer, you can create things like social media graphics, logos, cover photos, flyers, website banners, postcards, workbooks, presentations, photo editing, newsletters. That's all in that umbrella. Pinterest management. Did you know that you can get paid to play on Pinterest? Try to say that 5 times fast. So, so many businesses should be on Pinterest, but they're not yet. A lot of people think of Pinterest as just like a pretty place to go and look for recipes or DIYs or anything of that nature, but Pinterest is actually a visual search engine. So people type in terms that they want to learn about, and then all these pins pop up that will teach them how to do whatever they're looking for. So if a business gets on Pinterest and they're using the right keywords, then their pins will pop up when people type in that keyword, and they'll get more traffic to their website, and that should increase their sales, their conversions, all the things. So a lot of these business owners don't recognize that at all yet, so they need to hire someone. They haven't yet, and they just don't. They probably have so much on their plate already, and so they would be likely to outsource that Pinterest management to someone else, and that could be you. So as a Pinterest manager, you can do things like create the pins, write the captions under the pins, find and join group boards, schedule the pins. That would all fall into Pinterest management. It is super fun. The next category is marketing. So I think of this as anything that can help a business reach more people. That's what a marketing virtual assistant would help with. So things like email marketing, sales funnels, social media ads, webinar creation, which a webinar is just like this, like a free workshop. It's kind of the same thing. They can help with press releases, getting their clients onto podcasts or getting their clients featured in blogs on other websites. That all falls into marketing. A technical virtual assistant can do things like website design, app development, video editing, coding, podcast management. I do want to pause here real quick. A lot of people think they need a ton of experience or a degree or something to be able to offer these services in the technical category, and that is not the case. As a website designer, most website platforms these days are like drag and drop. You don't really have to know how to code. Some basic coding knowledge is helpful, but that's stuff you can learn on YouTube. That's actually how I built my first website, is just watching a YouTube tutorial. And then I was like, this is so fun. I could do this for clients. And that's how I dove into it. So with website page builders, you literally just drag and drop in like a photo, the text, you click a few buttons to arrange it how you want, you change the colors, you add the next section, you just keep going until you have this beautiful website. So no coding from scratch required. It's really easy to learn. Same thing with podcast management. A lot of people think that managing a podcast would be super hard. It's not. You can download a free audio editing program called Audacity, Audicity. I think I spelled that right. You could just record yourself talking for like 10 minutes and then go in and practice editing out the editing out the stutters, whatever. And then you know the basics of being a podcast manager, and you could offer that as a service. So I just wanted to say that, because don't just shut that down as an option. If it's something that sounds fun to you, you can absolutely learn how to do it. And that goes for any of these. Product and course creation virtual assistant can help with things like building and managing courses, making PowerPoint presentations for the courses, something kind of like of this nature, what I'm showing you guys right now, creating landing pages and things like that. Now, I know you might be thinking, I don't know how to do any of these things, Ariana. I don't feel qualified in any of these areas. Please help me. And I just want you to know that before I started as a virtual assistant, I had not done 90% of the services that I have now offered for my clients. Like I said, I was a kindergarten teacher. I taught 5 and 6 year olds how to stand in line, how to use a glue stick, how to be kind. I had no prior business experience. And so I just wanted to mention that because all you need is the willingness to learn and the ability to figure things out. And maybe to be a little bit tech savvy, but like not even that much, because you can learn, you can find all kinds of tutorials to learn the different programs that your clients might need help with. You can absolutely figure it out. So don't shut yourself down. If none of those services are something you know how to do yet, you can figure it out. And I can teach you how to do whatever service that you choose. So don't worry, I got your back. Now, I would love for you guys who are watching live and or watching the replay, please take a moment and share in the comments, what service or services do you feel confident offering right off the bat? And what service would you love to learn how to do? Because I don't want you to just pick a service that you're comfortable with and run with that. Because if you end up not enjoying it, you're gonna feel just as stuck as you currently do in your 9 to 5. I don't want you to look at your life a year from now in your virtual assistant business and be like, okay, well, I'm still not happy with my job. I want you to pick something that you're going to be so excited to do for your clients each and every day. Even if you don't know how to do it yet, if something sounds fun to you, write that down, figure out how you can learn it. And if it ends up not being what you thought and you don't enjoy it as much as you thought you were going to, that's the beauty of the virtual assistant world. Another great benefit is that you can always pivot down the road. When I first started, I was going more the social media manager route. And then I was like, man, I mean, I can do it, but it wasn't lighting me up. And that's when I pivoted into website design. And that is what lights my soul on fire. Okay. So write down what service you would love to learn how to do. Real quick, I'm just going to pause and make sure everything's still going well. Okay, I can still hear myself, so we're good. And just a heads up, all the questions you answer throughout this workshop, you get entries into our giveaway. So again, I'll be talking more about that at the end of this workshop. So make sure you tune in for that. But all of the questions that you answer will get you one entry every time into the giveaway. So make sure you're participating. All right, the second P of becoming a virtual assistant is packaging. So we have to list out our services in a way that allows our clients to understand exactly what they're getting. I hope you guys can't hear this chair is like so squeaky. I hope you can't hear that. So with creating your packages, I recommend creating 3 different package options. And with this, you want to start with like a basic package, and then each one above that will include additional items. So if you think about your typical like bronze, silver, gold packages, your bronze would be like the smallest amount of services, and that's the cheapest package. Silver would be a little bit more services and a little bit of a higher price point. And then your gold package would be the most services and the highest price point. So in each package, you want to list out exactly what your clients will get from you if they purchase that package, so they know exactly what to expect. So for example, if you're a social media manager, your bronze package, your smallest package might be 3 posts a week for a business, 10 minutes spent on those 3 days doing like responding to comments on the post, responding to any messages about the post, any of that. It might include like an hour a month of hashtag research, maybe 30 minutes, a 30-minute meeting once per month to like plan out the strategy for the social media posts with your client. So that would be like your basic package. And then the middle package, you just want to bump it up a little. So if the basic package was 3 posts a week, your middle package might be 4 posts a week. And then it might be 15 minutes of engagement on those posting days. And then maybe the hashtag time and the meeting time stays the same. Then your biggest package might be 5 posts a week, 30 minutes of engagement time on those posting days. Maybe you have an hour-long meeting with your client each month to plan out the strategy around what you're going to be creating for them. So you see it just like builds on each other. And a hot tip here is put your biggest package first on the page, because then they're going to be like, oh yeah, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then they'll go to the next package that's a little bit less, and they'll be like, wait, but I wanted this, and that package doesn't have it. So no, I want to go with the biggest package. So it's helpful for them to see the biggest package first. They might be more likely to go with that one. All right, the third key of becoming a virtual assistant is your pricing. And I know you guys are curious about this. So we want to make sure that we have a very clear breakdown of our pricing for our packages. I see some people not put pricing in their packages. And then they just encourage their potential clients to like reach out to them and see what the pricing is. I don't recommend going that route because then you get clients who are way undervaluing you and you're just wasting time. So I'd rather have you have your prices up front so they can be like, oh, I can't afford that. They're not even going to waste your time. Okay, so having pricing up front on your with your packages is very helpful. Now, did you know virtual assistants can make anywhere from $30 an hour to $100 an hour? Mind blown. Okay, this is totally possible. And as a virtual assistant, you get to set your own pricing. You get to determine what you charge and you get to raise your prices whenever you want. So if you get a client at $30 an hour, you've worked with them on, again, social media management for like 2 months, then the next client you get, you could bump your rate up to $35 an hour. Again, you get to control what you charge. Now, spoiler alert, you do not want to work with every single person just because they're offering you money. Okay. Because then you're going to find yourself working with clients who don't actually light you up, that drain you, and that takes so much time and energy from you just because you're like not really connected to them and the services that they offer. You don't believe in their business mission, those kind of things. Take this from somebody who did not follow her own advice when I first became a virtual assistant. I worked with a client that there were some red flags in our discovery call, but I'm like, no, I think it'll be fine. And so I worked with her and it was terrible. She just like, she'd tell me she wanted something, I'd get it done, and then she completely changed her mind on what she wanted. And I had documented, like, you said you wanted this, and now you're changing. Anyway, it was a nightmare. I ended up having to let her go respectfully. And once I did that, once I got the courage to let her go, because I was really scared to at first, I got so much time back. I got so much of my mental peace back. And I was able to take on 2 clients and spend the same amount of time as I was with that one client because she was draining me so much. And so I made more money with those 2 clients than I did with that one who was exhausting me. So you just want to keep in mind that you want to think about that person that you would love to work with, that person that would make you just want to jump out of your bed every single day to serve them. Now, this might start out really broad at first. It could be like, I just want to work with mom business owners who are moms, because they're going to get that. My kiddos might be running in the background when we're on a meeting. It might just be like, maybe you really love the wedding industry and you want to serve businesses who are like wedding based. So like wedding photographers, caterers, things of that nature. So again, this might start out really broad at first, and then as you start working with people, you can narrow it down over time, but it helps you to know like who you're speaking to and to make sure that anything you're creating is geared towards that person. So if I want to work with a mom business owner, then I don't really want to be using like a bunch of harsh colors in my branding. I want something soft and feminine and like feels like motherhood, you know? So it's just important to like have a little bit of that in mind when you are creating everything for your business. Just keeping who your ideal client is in mind, and you can always pivot it down the road, but just a good idea to start with at first. Okay. So there are 2 different types of pricing options that you can do when you're creating your packages. The first one is hourly pricing. So typically new virtual assistants will charge hourly and then they'll keep track of their hours that they've worked with a time tracking tool. However, as you get better at the services that you offer, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, because when you charge hourly, as you get better at the service that you're offering, you're basically doing more work for less pay. Okay. So it's a really good idea to pivot out of hourly pricing as soon as possible. Maybe don't even start with it. It's helpful just to like figure out, like wrap your brain around creating your pricing. So I get why so many virtual assistants like start with this, but the real great way that I recommend going to as soon as possible is package pricing. So as you get more experience, it is really best to move into that package model for your services, because essentially you're still charging hourly kind of, you still like estimate how much time a project is going to take you, but you also then add on an additional fee for basically just being skilled in that service. Now, this also has an added bonus that you no longer have to track your time, which does get a little bit tedious sometimes. So yeah, that's really great too, because that can get overwhelming pretty quickly. Now, in order to create your packages, you start with an estimate of how long the service is going to take you, just like you would have for hourly, but then you add on an additional amount on top of that. And that can really vary. It depends. Um, but yeah, this is the best way to go. And again, it just allows you to actually get paid for the value that you're providing to a business. So instead of thinking like, oh, they're paying me this much for this, no, you want to think of it as, okay, they're paying me $1,000 a month for their social media, but that's going to allow them to reach so many more people and actually get those people to convert into sales like through their website and whatnot. So you got to change your mindset around charging more. Now, the fourth P of becoming a virtual assistant is your portfolio. So we want to showcase our packages and our pricing in a really clean, eye-catching design that's going to help us look more professional and stand out among the crowd. So my favorite tool for this is Canva, Canva. If you're a teacher, you might already be familiar with this tool. Even if you're not a teacher, you might be. But basically, it's a free graphic design program online, canva.com. And they do have a paid version, but the free version is totally great. That's really all you need for a long, long, long time. And you can then create a PDF portfolio in Canva showcasing all of your packages and your services. So page one of your portfolio, you want to have like a brief paragraph about how you can serve your client, what you're going to be able to help them do, what it's going to help them do in their business. Is it going to save them time? Is it going to help them reach more customers? What is it going to help them do? Make sure you connect with them on that first, because that's the first thing they're going to see in your portfolio. So you want to make sure you're really addressing how you can serve them. Then you want to also have just a brief bio about you, a couple sentences, just so that they can connect with you and relate to you more on a personal level. You want to list out where they can connect with you. So you can put your website if you have one, but really all you need at first is a portfolio. The only time I say you need a website really is if you want to offer website design as a service. Other than that, you can start with the portfolio and always do a website down the road. But you could list like your social media handles. Never, ever, ever put your phone number in your portfolio. You don't give your phone number out to clients, because on weekends or in evenings when you're spending time with your kids, you want to be able to turn work off. And if a client has your phone number, they can easily reach you. You can't mute notifications really. And so you might get lost and like taken away from your kids because your client just texted you at 7 p.m. at night and you don't want to forget. So I highly recommend using an app like Voxer, Voxer. Some people use Slack, Slack, whatever one is fine. But then you can get connected with your clients on there. And it's still like texting, but you can set it so that immediately at, for example, 5 p.m. till 8 a.m. the next day, you get no notifications on your phone. That way you can really shut work off. Okay. So never give out your phone number. That's a hot tip. Now, then you'll also have a list of the skills that you have. You'll just list out all of the things that you can help them with. And then also professional photo. Now, you don't need to pay to go get a headshot done or anything like that. Just have your spouse or someone that likes you take a good picture of you. You don't want someone who doesn't like you, because then they might take a bad photo. But just have them take a picture of you in front of like a nice, clean, blank white wall with a nice shirt on, torso up, smiling, and just, yeah, that way somebody who's looking at your portfolio can really put a face to the name. Page 2 of your portfolio, you're going to list out your package options, including whatever title you want to give your packages, basically like just whatever category. So if you're doing Pinterest management, your title might be like Pinterest packages. Then you want a line item list of the services that you're offering in those different packages and your pricing. You can also consider adding like a separate box at the bottom of the page that says that you offer custom packages, because if they see a package you have, but they're like, oh, I want all of that, but I also want a couple other things, you just want to let them know that you can absolutely create a custom package for them. They don't have to just stick with what's on the page. Page 3 is your testimonials and your sample work. A lot of new virtual assistants skip this at first, and really, even if you're new, you don't need to skip this. For testimonials, you can get a testimonial from anyone you've ever worked with, a fellow teacher, a fellow employee, an old boss that you love, someone that's worked with you in some capacity and that can speak to how you are in the workplace. You can get a testimonial from them and they can just speak to your work ethic, and then you can just put that in your portfolio. It doesn't have to be just testimonials from virtual assistant clients. For sample work, if you're doing Pinterest management, for example, you can create a fictitious client in your head, for example, the wedding-based industry. You could go create a couple pins for a business in the wedding-based industry, and then just showcase them in your portfolio. Nobody has to know that this is from a fake client you made up in your head. They just want to see that you can create what they're saying you can create. Okay, so you can still have sample work in your portfolio for a fake client. Nobody has to know it's fake. Okay, so that's just another hot tip there. Page number 4 is where you're going to list out your next steps and how potential clients can set up a time to chat with you. So you typically want to have them book a quick call with you, 15 to 20 minutes, and you can set up a calendar where they can go in, like you can set up your availability for when you would be available to do these calls. And then they would just like click on your link. They would see the times you have open and they would pick a time and usually fill out a form. Calendly is a really good tool for this, Calendly. I'm drawing a blank on any of the other ones, but Calendly is a really good one to use for that. All right, the 5th P of becoming a virtual assistant is to put yourself out there. So once you have your portfolio, you are ready to go out and land those clients. Now, you're probably thinking, this sounds good and everything, Ariana, but where am I actually going to find paying clients? Got you. So the first place that I highly, highly recommend finding paying clients is in business Facebook groups or entrepreneur Facebook groups. This is where I have found 90% of my clients. This is where so many of the moms and teachers I've helped with their virtual assistant business have found their first clients. There are seriously so many of these different business Facebook groups where businesses are going in every single day, posting, looking for help. Some of my favorite ones are Boss Moms, Women Helping Women, Entrepreneurs, and Freelancing Females, but there's seriously like over 100. Okay, so you can go join those groups, check them out. Don't get overwhelmed if when you're looking at the job postings, if you see like a lot of software you don't recognize, because like, again, you can easily just Google that software and look up their tutorial videos and figure it out. So just go take a look if you want to. But yeah, that is where I recommend looking for clients, because it's so easy to apply. You literally just comment on the post and say like, hey, I would love to help you with this. These are the services that I offer. Here's my portfolio. Can I message you? And then you can start the conversation with them and see if you guys would be a good fit together. Instagram is another really great place to find potential clients, especially if you want to be a social media manager. But even if not, you can either use your current Instagram or you can create a business Instagram and just start creating like a couple basic posts about like what services you offer, why these services are helpful for businesses, things of that nature. You only need to put up like 1 or 2 a week, nothing crazy. But then you can start, if you know what types of services you want to offer, like business owners who are moms, you can start going into hashtags related to mom business owners and start connecting with the businesses who are using those hashtags. And this is not cold pitching. You're not messaging them immediately and being like, hey, I offer this service, hire me. No, you're building relationships with people. So you can comment on their posts, you can respond to their stories, you can just like, I don't know, give free value if they like have a question on their story, you can respond with an answer. To build that relationship. And this has the goal of them like seeing your name popping up pretty often. And then they'll go to your page, see what you do, and be like, oh, I need help with that. I'm going to hire her. Okay. They know that you're already engaged in their business. You already know a little bit about it. So they're more likely to hire you because you already like kind of have that foot in. And then the third place to find paying clients is through people that you know. The first client I had was actually somebody that I know. I put a post up on Facebook saying that I was offering virtual assistant services. I explained what it is because a lot of people don't know. I explained what services specifically that I offered, and I had someone reach out to me and they were like, yes, I need help with this. Even if you don't think anybody on your friends list knows or like needs help with that, they might not know somebody who does, and they can refer you to them. So a lot of people too hesitate with posting on their Facebook because like maybe you're still working your 9 to 5 and you don't want your employer to know about it. You can set the privacy, you can set it to like exclude certain people on your friends list from being able to see that post. So like when I first created my post, I like hid my all the teachers at my school and my admin. So you can absolutely do that too if you're nervous about like your employer seeing this post from you. Now, don't worry, because inside my program, I give you my exact system to find new clients with no stress, no weird sales tactics. Like I said, we're not going to be cold DMing people all the time, and no pressure. So getting clients is going to be faster and easier than you think. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment, and you can drop your answers to this in the workshop comments. And again, you'll get entries into the giveaway. So imagine you quit your 9 to 5 and you are now working blank hours a week as a virtual assistant. Drop it in the comments. How many hours would you love to work max? You are so fulfilled because you're helping your client with or do. What are you helping them do in their business? You can't believe you landed this dream client because why? What is it allowing you to do in your life? I'll give y'all a minute to type in your answers. Make sure y'all can still hear me. Looks like I'm a little bit skippy. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. I think my video is just a little skippy, but the sound sounds okay. All right. So real quick, I just want to cover the top three mistakes that I see new virtual assistants make because I want you to be able to avoid those. So the first one is that a lot of new virtual assistants don't understand how to pitch themselves effectively. They go and they see these businesses posting on Facebook saying they need help with this, and they're like, hey, I'm interested, message me. Well, that doesn't really tell the potential client how you can help them, and it makes them do the work to reach out to you when you should be doing the work to reach out to them. So one of the best things that you can do is click on their profile, whoever posted the job opportunity, click on their profile, look in their little like about section under their profile photos, see if they have their Facebook business page listed or their Instagram or best case scenario, their website, any of those things, then click on that. You can go check out their Instagram Facebook business page or website, go to their about page on their website, learn about them, why they created the business, what they do. And then when you comment on that post, you can mention something that you learned from one of those three places. And that shows them that you took the time to actually look and learn a little bit about their business, and shows that you care. Because business owners, their business is their baby. They poured their sweat, blood, and tears into this business probably. And so they want to know that whoever they're going to hire is going to treat their business like it's their own baby. So if you just take that time to put in that little extra effort, that's going to stand out. The second big mistake that I see new virtual assistants make is that they don't get paid up front, and they don't have a contract in place to protect them. Never, ever, 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 as a virtual assistant, do any work until you are paid 100% upfront. Disclaimer, if you are offering something like website designing, for example, and it's something that's like a really big fee, you can break it up into like a payment plan of 50% deposit up front before you do any work to secure their spot and to like start working with them. And then 50%, that remaining 50% halfway through the project. But I never want you to invoice for any work once you've already done the work, because then you stand the chance of a client ghosting you, not paying you for work that you've already done. So we always get paid by our clients upfront. Now, with a contract, you just want to have this in place to protect you just in case. And it also sets really good boundaries up front when you first get hired on with a client. Your contract will establish your boundaries with them. So it typically establishes your working hours. It lets them know what services you're doing for them. And then if they want additional services, how much you're going to charge, because some people can, like, it's called scope creep. They keep adding more and more to your plate, but they don't actually raise what they're paying you. And then you can also put in clauses like, if you pay late, it's going to be this amount, this fee added on, things of that nature. So it's really good for setting boundaries up front to make sure that you and your client are both on the same page. The third big mistake that I see new virtual assistants make is that they are trying to do this all alone. If you have never been in the virtual assistant world before, it can be overwhelming, especially, you're brand new, you're trying to figure things out, you're going to make mistakes. And if you're doing it alone, you might come up against a roadblock and be like, oh, that's it, I'm not supposed to do this, I'm done. And maybe that roadblock had a simple answer that you just didn't know, that if you had someone helping you to figure it out, you could have kept going and you might have replaced your income a month from now. But if you quit, you never know what it could have been. Okay, so I really recommend, yes, you can DIY your virtual assistant business, but you're going to make mistakes. You're going to waste time, and you're going to end up spending more money trying to fix the mistakes that you've made. Now, you don't have to make any of those mistakes. You can thank me later. If you want to DIY your virtual assistant business, like, take this information and run. I bless you, and you have what you need to get started. But I want to ask you, what if I could hand you 10 steps to help you go from burnt out working mama to virtual assistant with clients who value you? This 10-step framework is for you if you wish you could stay home with your babies instead of spending 3/4 of your day stuck at your job. It's for you if you wish you could take a day off without having to ask for permission. It's for you if you wish you could take that dream vacation to the beach with your husband or to Disney with your family. It's for you if you wish someone would appreciate you for all that you do in your job. And it is for you if you wish your income potential was limitless. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a minute. Don't worry, nobody can see you. I can't see you either, so close your eyes, actually listen, and imagine. You see yourself on your couch with your laptop in hand, little babies crawling at your feet while you knock out some work for one of your clients. You feel so much happiness and excitement knowing that you're providing a second income stream for your family while spending your days watching your kiddos grow up. You get to take those dream family vacations and even pay off all of that debt. Finally. Soak that up. How does that feel? You can absolutely have this. Introducing the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. This is every single thing you need to build your virtual assistant business from scratch. Inside the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy, you get trainings, templates, weekly office hours, accountability, tech tutorials, pricing guidance, contract templates, and so much more. This is everything you need to become a virtual assistant and go from I don't know what the heck I'm doing to I fully replaced my income and I'm working from home part-time hours with my kiddos around me. Inside of the AMA, you get lifetime access to the 10 module program with additional bonuses added over time. So I'm always like adding more things when new things are working in the virtual assistant world. I'm like teaching all about it so you can know what's working the best to actually land new clients. You also, in each module, you get video lessons that are bite-sized that will help you gain clarity and give you actionable and tactical steps to help you become a successful virtual assistant. These are not hours-long trainings at all. I think the longest one is maybe 30 minutes, but most of them are like 10 minutes or less because we don't do a lot of fluff in the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy. I don't want you to have to spend hours and hours and hours figuring this out. I want you to get in, watch a video, learn what you need to do, go implement, watch the next video, learn what you need to do, go implement. Okay. So it's not super long. It's not gonna, overrun your life. Also in the program, you get templates to help you with creating your portfolio. I have a template for you that is already laid out. You go plug in your information, you pop in your photo, you change a few of the branding colors, bam, it's done in like 10, 15 minutes. We also have a template for your contract where the highlighted parts are what you need to change for like your personal information, your personal like clauses you want to put in the contract, but everything else is there for you. I give you templates for how to pitch to jobs effectively. So you're not one of those people who just says, hey, I'm interested, message me. It's seriously got everything you need. You also, one of the best parts about the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy is when you join, you get access to our private student community where I am always in there answering your questions. So I'm always in your back pocket. When you hit that roadblock, come post your questions, post what's holding you up, and I will help you. My students in the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy will tell you they are amazed by how quickly I answer their questions because I'm always checking it to make sure everybody has what they need so they can keep growing this. You also get weekly office hours from me where you can submit your questions and I will help you with them as well. Real quick, I just want to walk you through what's in the different units in this program. And you can view all of this at virtualassistantmama.com. So don't worry, like you don't have to take screenshots or whatever. This will all be on that page as well. And I'll put that link in the comments after this workshop. Sorry, I just heard a giant bang. My kids are running my husband ragged downstairs, so it's fine. He's got it. So step one, envisioning success. This unit is to really help you start off on the right foot. I'm going to give you some mindset strategies for your new business because when you first step into the virtual assistant world, you're gonna come up across or against imposter syndrome. It's that feeling of who am I to do this? Who's actually going to pay me for this? Nobody's going to hire me. I don't have experience. That is imposter syndrome. And it said like 75% of people experience imposter syndrome. And it's my opinion that the 25% who don't just are in tune with themselves, because I think all of us, even, celebrities, Oprah, like everybody, maybe not Oprah, but everybody comes up across imposter syndrome. So these mindset strategies will help you on those days where you're like, who am I to do this? These strategies are something that you can keep in your tool belt to help you overcome those thoughts. I'm also going to help you establish your why and your vision board to really just keep like why you're doing this at the forefront of your mind so that on those hard days, you can look at that and be like, this is why I'm doing this. It's so I can be home with my babies, so I can travel more. It's for my health, whatever. I'm also going to help you backwards design towards your goals. So if you're in the teaching world, you probably know what this means. If you don't, it's like, for example, if I'm a teacher and I have to get my kids to pass this test, I need to figure out what lessons I need to teach and in what order to actually get them to pass that test. So I have to take that test, figure out what they need to learn from that and break and go backwards and figure out, okay, like, how do I get them from this point to that point? So we're going to do that with your income goals. If your income goal is to replace your income, then we're going to write down that number and then we're going to backwards design and figure out, okay, how many months do I want it to take for me to do this? What do I need to make each month? How many clients is that actually going to take to be able to hit that goal and all those things? So I'm going to help you figure that out. Step number 2 is your business foundation. So I'm going to help you get your business legal, give you the free tools that you need to get started because I don't want you spending a ton of money on all these different tech programs to manage your business. I'm going to give you the free ones so you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to teach you how to track your income and your taxes. I've got a whole document with virtual assistant terms broken down for you, like what they mean. So when you go in these Facebook groups and you see these terms that you don't really know, this document's going to help you. I'm also going to help you with time blocking and workflows so that you can figure out how much time each week you really have that you can give to this. You don't need a ton of time. Even 5 hours a week is fantastic. Maybe you wake up an hour before your kids 2 days a week, and maybe you work an hour during that time 3 days a week. That's 5 hours right there. So you can figure out what time you have and actually identify like how many hours you can work in a week. And that is time blocking. And then with workflows, I'm going to help you figure out what you're actually going to work on when you sit down to work. Because I don't want you to get that time to work on your business and then sit down and be like, okay, what am I supposed to do? I don't really know. No, I don't want you wasting time. Again, I want you to sit down, be able to get your work done, go focus on your family. So that's what that's going to help you with. Step number 3 is figuring out your services, how to teach yourself new skills. If there's a service you want to offer and you don't know how to do it yet, how to teach yourself to do it. I'm going to help you with packaging your services, creating those packages we talked about, how to set your pricing. I've got a whole pricing guide to help you with that because I know a lot of you will get really hung up on that. Step number 4 is figuring out who you would love to work with. So we're going to identify who your dream client is and then where to find that dream client and how to start speaking to them. So that gets them to start coming to you rather than you having to go out and always find them. Step number 5 is building your brand in your portfolio so you can stand out among the crowd and look super professional. So we're going to create your brand colors and your logo. I'm going to teach you the ins and outs of Canva if you're not familiar with it. And then we'll use Canva to build your portfolio. So like I said, I have that template for you. You literally just have to go plug things in and I teach you how to do that in a training. And I have a branded email signature that you can customize for your business to just help you look even more professional when you're connecting with potential clients. Step number 6 is finding clients. So I'm going to share with you my top 8 places to find clients, the art of networking, why that's so important in your business, how to pitch yourself effectively so you're not that person that's just saying, I'm interested, message me. How to identify red flags and potential clients. Don't be like me and work with a client they get a red flag on. I want to help you figure out, what should I be looking out for when I'm actually talking to these potential clients. I want to help you figure out how to tell which jobs are scams. Unfortunately, there are some of those out there, so I want to make sure you're avoiding those. And then also, I want to teach you how to focus on money-making activities. I don't want you doing a bunch of things in your business that don't actually lead to a new client. I want you to focus on the activities that will actually lead to people getting on a call with you and figuring out if you guys would be a good fit to work together. I don't want you focused on tasks that aren't actually going to lead to getting a new client. So that's what that training is. Step number 7 is what to do, how to start the process of actually landing that potential client. So I teach you how to rock the interview call, which in the virtual assistant world, we call it a discovery call, just like a 15 to 20-minute call where it's as much the business owner interviewing you as it is you interviewing the business owner to make sure they're going to be a good fit for you. Again, you don't want to work with someone that's not a good fit for you. So I walk you through like exactly how to structure that whole call. I walk you through sending proposals to your dream client, which is very similar to portfolio, but it's more focused on what that specific potential client actually wants. And then I teach you the art of following up because so many clients they just get busy, especially if you want to work with mom business owners, like things are crazy for them all the time, just like it probably is for you. So I teach you the art of following up so you can keep checking in and get that yes from them. Step number 8 is what to do when you've landed that first client. So sending out your contract, making sure you get paid, and onboarding your client, which onboarding is just like getting all the information you need from them to actually be able to do the work that they hired you to do. So like their login info, their brand colors, all that stuff. Step number 9 is probably the best unit, I think, in the whole program, and it's teaching you different virtual assistant service trainings. So remember when I said if there's a service you want to learn and you don't know how, and then I got you, this is how. So I have trainings in here that teach you how to do social media management, TikTok management, which is social media management, but it's like specifically focused on teaching you how to be a TikTok manager. Organizational program management, Pinterest strategist, email marketing, podcast management, and more. If there's a service you want to learn, that's your. Step number 10 is what to do with your current clients. So how to turn current clients into raving fans, getting new clients from old clients, how to get those referrals. And then if you have a client you need to let go, how to end that relationship with the client professionally so you don't burn any bridges. Real quick, I just want to share a little bit from some amazing, amazing women who are in this program. Andrea said, Ariana's program was better and more than I could have possibly imagined. VAMA, which she adds more to constantly, gave me all the tools to get started, learn what I needed to do, and what to do once I landed clients. This is not a sign up and you're on your own program. Ariana challenged me, supported me, and has literally helped me land the most amazing clients. She answers questions so quickly, and here we are almost a year later, and while I need less support, I still have access to her program. She still answers my questions and is still my go-to. Amber says, Ariana's program has truly been a life-changing experience for me. With the flexibility to work through it on my own time, I gained all, I don't know what just happened with that picture. I gained all the, where was I? I gained all the knowledge and skills I needed to launch a thriving virtual assistant business. Ariana's unwavering support and willingness to answer my questions and brainstorm ideas with me has been invaluable on my journey. Thanks to VAMA, I was able to transform from a burnt out teacher to a successful virtual assistant in less than a year. I highly recommend this program to anyone who is even remotely considering becoming a virtual assistant. Trust me, you won't regret it. Just a couple screenshots from some of the students also in VAMA. In our student community, somebody said, I just left my teaching position to become a full-time VA. A lot of emotions, but mostly hope and excitement for the future. I would love the support, so come over to my business page and give me a follow. Next one, about to sign my biggest client to date, which will replace my teaching income. I have some thinking to do. In the next one, I want to celebrate with y'all. I put in my resignation at school this week. I will be done in March. And at this point, I am booked out. Thank you, Ariana, for the mentorship and for always being in my corner, and above all, for showing me it's possible. It is absolutely possible for you. These ladies, yes, they are amazing unicorns. They are brilliant. They're just rock stars, but you know what? You are too, and you can absolutely do this just like they have. Real quick, I have some fast action bonuses for you. So if you say yes before the end of next week and join this program, you get bonus number 1, which is to save $100 off of this program. And that discount will automatically be applied at checkout. You don't have to enter any codes or anything. It's already applied. Now, this is only valid for the first 10 people who join while the cart is open. So make sure you take advantage of that. You also get bonus number 2, which is my Wow What a Website template and video tutorial series to help you look even more professional for your dream clients. Now, again, like I mentioned, you don't have to have a website up front unless you want to be a website designer, then you probably should. But this is a good thing to have in your back pocket when you're ready to get it done, get a website up, then you will have this. You won't have to like pay money. You'll already have this template and the tutorial series teaching you exactly how to set up a website specific for your business. So you get that bonus. And then bonus number 3, you get your land. You get the land your first client challenge. So in that challenge, you get the accountability that you need to land that first client and make back your investment in this program so that after that, it's just profit. Okay. So when you join the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy, you get access to all 3 of these bonuses, plus everything else I just went through. Now, this entire program is worth over $6,500. All the trainings in it, all the templates, all the support, everything, it is worth that much. But right now, you can get it for one payment of $597 minus that $100 coupon. So that would be $497 if you get that coupon, if you're one of the first 10 to join. And or there's a payment plan option where you can do 4 monthly payments of $157. But if you get that coupon, if you're one of the first 10 to join, your first payment would be $57 today. So you could pay $57 today and then work on getting your business set up. And then by the time your next payment is due, if you have a client already, that could pay for your next payments. And then it's just income from there. Now, a lot of people are like, they see this, they think of this in the wrong light. They think of it as throwing money away, like hoping that something's going to happen. You do have to put in the work. If you just pay for this program and then don't do it, it's not going to help you. But if you do this program, it will help you get your virtual assistant business going. And even if you only made back the investment in this program, you've lost nothing. But I want you to think about, what could it do if you kept going? What could it do in your life if you invested in this program to save time, save money, save energy, get the blueprint on what to do, and take off? So I want you to think about it that way. Now, so I encourage you to be one of the first 10 and take advantage of the fast action bonuses, save that $100 and get the other bonuses while CART is open. Now, maybe you're wondering, there's so much that people have questions about, and I can't answer everything on this workshop because then we would just be here for way too long. But I do have a podcast that will answer a lot of the questions you have. So if you're wondering how long it'll actually take you to be able to quit your 9 to 5 for good, episode 147 of the Virtual Assistant Mama podcast will answer that for you. And you can find the podcast on any podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen, you can find it. If you're worried about getting your husband, your spouse on board, episode 149 is for you. I actually brought my husband on and got his takeaways from when I first started this, what he thought, how he encouraged me, how I proved to him I could do this, all those things. Biggest question I get is insurance and benefits. Episode 152 of the podcast will answer all of those questions for you there. Now, it is time, y'all. It is time to say yes. It's time to ditch your 9 to 5 for good, or even if you don't want to quit your job, maybe you love it and you just want a side hustle, it is time. Go to virtualassistantmama.com. Check everything out. Everything that I just talked through about what's in the program is on there, so you can show it to your spouse. I'll also be sending an email after this live workshop is done with a replay, and I'll include this presentation as like a PDF download document, whatever. So you can show it to your spouse. They don't have to watch the whole workshop with you. You can just show them specific pages in that document. So I'll have that in an email to you guys later this evening as well. So head over to virtualassistantmama.com, and remember, this program includes your 10 steps, completely self-paced. You get to work through it on your own time, so as much or as little time as you have to give it, you can work through it. It's got video lessons and workbooks. It's got templates for your portfolio, your contract, pitching to jobs, and more. Additional bonuses added over time. You get that weekly office hours with me to answer all of your questions, the private student community to get that support and accountability you need, and that Land Your First Client Challenge to help you make back your investment ASAP. So you've got this. You can absolutely do this. Real quick, I just want to close us out with a quick prayer, because I would not be where I am in my business if I hadn't taken that leap of faith and said yes to God placing this dream on my heart. I did not find out about this on the day I went into labor for no reason. I know it was 100% God. If you believe, I would love for you to pray with us. If not, that's totally fine. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing all of these amazing women together and to just allow me to pour into them and show them what is possible, to show them that the dreams that you have placed on their heart you didn't place them there for no reason or just to taunt them. You placed them there because they can have this and they just have to take that leap of faith to believe that they can with your support and to just trust in you and your plan. I know how scary it is. Lord, I've gone through this and it's still scary some days, but we just have to remember that you've got our back, that you're encouraging us, you're supporting us, you won't let us fall flat on our faces. And we just have to rely on you. So, Father, I just encourage the women who are like, I want to do this, but I'm so, so scared. I just pray that you would give them that little bit of courage to say yes to the dreams on their heart, to say yes to the future that they want, to say yes to being home with their kids, being the present mom they want to be, and just doing whatever it is that you have called them to do. Father, I just pray that if they are ready to say yes, that you would just help me to help them in any way that I can. And I'm just so grateful for you. And I know we all are each and every day. Love you so, so much. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can email me, message me on Instagram, message me on Facebook, whatever. I'm an open book. I will tell you if I think this is a good fit for you or not. I don't want you to waste your money, but you've absolutely got this. You can do this if you are ready. And I would love to support you. I'm going to be going back through. Oh, oh my gosh, the giveaway. So if you answered the questions on the workshop, then tomorrow I will be showing you guys 2 different things that have helped me in my virtual assistant journey. And whoever the giveaway winner is going to get both. So again, by answering the question throughout this workshop, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, as long as you watch the replay before I do the live drawing, you get entered into the giveaway. And I will do a random drawing to see who the winner is. I'll also show you guys like a behind the scenes look into what it's like when you join the Virtual Assistant Mama Academy, what it looks like on the back end. So I'll show you that tomorrow. I don't have a specific time that I'm doing that because it's whenever the heck my kids are next. So you don't have to be live like to win or anything like that. You can just watch the replay of that. And whoever the winner is of the giveaway, I will message you. So there's that. If you have any questions, reach out to me. This replay will also be on the podcast. It'll be sent to you via email, all the places, so you can easily find it, and it will be here in the group as well. All right, y'all. Thank you so, so much for tuning in. Love you so much. Have a great rest of your night.